What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show. And today, we're going to talk about, Washington lose to the San Francisco 49ers 37-20. Still in the 7th seed of the playoff race due to getting help. They got help and still lost. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. And this is something that I'm not a big conspiracy theory person and things like that. But Ron, as much as, because understand this, Taylor was actually playing well the first half. He was looking good. He was looking sharp. He was making throws that in reality we know is hard for him to make. We saw him make throws. We saw his chemistry with Jahan Dotson grow and things like that. We saw a very sharp Taylor Heineke. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you start to see that this line is crumbling in front of him. The tackles cannot hold up. And this is not the first game that we've seen this. This has been game after game after game after game that we've seen these tackles decimated by defensive ends. No matter their time in the league, we've seen these tackles decimated by rookies and veterans. And the crazy thing about it is that we've seen more rookies have success against this line. We're talking about Trayvon Walker in the first joint. Then you're talking about Aiden Hutchinson in the second game of the season. Then all of a sudden, Joey Bosa gives us a hard time. Kayvon Thibodeau kills us in the 2 games against the Giants. We're taught every time we turn around, this offensive line is looking like butt. Taylor was actually looking good until, the fumble was not his fault. Because again, Joey Bosa beats Cornelius Lucas. He beats him. Taylor is ready to throw it to Brian Robinson, and he doesn't even know that Joey Bosa is. Nick Bosa is on his butt. He didn't even know. Then he makes the mistake because he's trying to hurry up and get the ball out of his hand and anticipate Brian Robinson's route. I said earlier, I try my best to not believe in conspiracy theories and stuff like that, but I'm going to say it. I think Ron and them did this shit on purpose. Because if y'all paid attention to the offense that was being played when Carson Wentz came in comparison to the offense that Taylor Heineke was running, doesn't it seem like the two offenses are actually for the other quarterback? Wouldn't you think that with Taylor Heineke, who's been having an issue of arm strength and all that type of stuff and things like that, wouldn't you think that he would have the short passing game and that Carson Wentz would be the one with the long passing game? Wouldn't that make some type of sense? No, but Ron actually doesn't care about us making the playoffs for real. He doesn't care about us making the playoffs. He only cares about the fact of him making sure he doesn't look like a fool because he went out there and made that trade for Carson Wentz. That is what Ron's main focus is. He's not focused on getting us to the playoffs. He's not focused at all. Because you know why? Our offensive line looks like trash. If he was focused on us making the playoffs, he would have made sure that he got this line the way it needs to be. Remember when he first showed up? How many of y'all remember what he said when he first showed up? He said, I let the offensive line in Carolina get too old too quickly. And dang it if he didn't repeat it. Dang it if he did not repeat the same mistake. The exact same mistake. Our offensive line was the 6th best offensive line when he took over. We're now the 28th worst line in the league. We suck. This offensive line sucks. And I'm holding everything back, and I'm trying my best not to cuss. But as much as we sit up here, and I'm gonna say this, everybody is in support. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I'm always for a winning quarterback, period. But act like you want the success of both of your quarterbacks. Don't act like you want the success of just one. I mean, it makes no sense. Ron sabotaged this. And I know a lot of y'all are going to say, nah, John, nah, you just saying that because Heineke got bit. No, Ron sabotaged this. Because understand this, they weren't expecting for Taylor to play that well in the first half. They weren't expecting for Taylor to practically go touchdown for touchdown and almost come through. Because even when you look at that, when Taylor was throwing the ball well and all that type of stuff, next thing you know, Scott would call some type of weird or wacky play. Something very weird and wacky. And it was like, well, why would he go with that play? That play doesn't make any sense. When we was down on the 1 yard line, we ran 3 times. 4 times. We ran 4 times. The last time he ran the ball, he used Antonio Gibson. Why? When Brian Robinson is still doing something? And then how many of y'all noticed that Brian Robinson wasn't in the game all like that? Neither was Antonio Gibson. Ron can say whatever he want to say. But Ron sabotaged this. We had an opportunity to cement ourselves in the playoff race, and we did not do it. We did not do it. Not only did we not do it, that's why, like I said, I'm not a big conspiracy theory guy. I'm just not. But you know for a fact that this line is not holding up. And they knew that, because if y'all paid attention, they got it to a point where Taylor was throwing too much. Taylor started throwing too much. And then on top of that how does Scott not see that this line is, like, here's another thing. This is how you know sabotage is going on. Did y'all notice that there was multiple occasions where you got a tight end trying to block a defensive end? There were so many times where we saw, of all people, the smallest, most slender tight end and Cole Turner trying to block the ends. Why are tight ends trying to block the defensive ends? That's what you got the tackles for. That's what you got tackles for. And see, whenever I said something about how this is coaches' losses and stuff like that, everybody is always up my butt. I was even accused of being part of the Heineke Hive. I'm not a part of the Heineke Hive. My thing is, look, this guy's winning. He's winning. Keep him in the game. Keep him in. Don't go to Carson Wentz, because we saw what happened with Carson Wentz. Guess what? Oh, everybody, and I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna be like, well, Carson Wentz did throw the touchdown in garbage time. Carson, did y'all also notice that when Carson got in, all of a sudden the 49ers started pinning their ears back and going straight to the quarterback? Funny at how Scott Turner knows how to use a short passing game now all of a sudden Scott Turner knows a short passing game when Carson Wentz get in, but he didn't know the short passing game when Taylor Heineke was playing. This was a sabotage, y'all. This was a whole big sabotage, and this is why. This is exactly why some coaches do not deserve to be part of a coach-centric approach. And Ron Rivera is one of those coaches. You don't give him a coach-centric approach. You just don't. You don't. And so many things is playing back to me. Martin Mayhew trying to draft Kenyon Green in the first round instead of Jahan Dotson. Well, guess what? I guess I could understand Martin Mayhew's talking about Kenyon Green because Ron was telling everybody that this was supposed to be a run-heavy offense. So, of course, nobody's going to think about Jahan Dotson. This comes off as sabotage, y'all. It really does. It really comes off as sabotage. Because, again, Taylor was playing well. He was playing well. Why did how many of us as fans have been banging and screaming about a short passing game? How many of us have said that Taylor doesn't have the strongest arm? Give him a short passing game. What happened? Now all of a sudden that's in the playbook? When you sitting up there trying to get Taylor Heineke, knowing he doesn't have the arm strength to throw 70-yard passes? Stumbling into the playoffs, people. Stumbling into the playoffs. We lucked up today. We lucked up. Carolina beat the Detroit Lions. Seattle dropped their game. We had help. We had help. And because Ron was so caught up on trying to hurry up and get Carson Wentz back in the game that he sabotaged the game and lost us a possible playoff spot. We're lucky we're 7-7-1. We are lucky that we have 7 losses. We got 2 games. 2 games left. The Cleveland Browns is coming. The Cleveland Browns, that defensive line ain't a slouch defensive line either. That's not a slouch defensive line. And we all know that we all know Carson Wentz is back in. We know this. We don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Because if our coach is sabotaging stuff like this, that is a problem. And everybody can sit here and say, no. Scott Turner, we've been banging, all of us fans have been banging the walls talking about, hey, where's the short passing game? Magically, there was none. Carson Wentz comes in the game, now all of a sudden there's a short passing game. Not only that, there's tons of plays out of the short passing game. Also, people, it was garbage time. All you Heineke whiners, Wentz whiners, all you Wentz whiners, that was all garbage time. Heineke was playing well. He was playing very well. And he gets hit on the previous play because his tackle can't stop a pass rush. And then all of a sudden, he throws the interception because he's trying to hurry up and get the ball out of his hands and anticipate the route that Brian Robinson is running. This was horrible. And this is all on the coaches. The coaches are all at fault for this. And Ron is definitely at fault. Ron is 100% at fault. Because I don't care what nobody say. He sabotaged this. He sabotaged this game. He definitely 100% sabotaged this game. Because all the plays that they were running and stuff like that, they were not expecting Taylor to play that well in the first half. They were not expecting it. We never seen Taylor throw that much. Even when it came to the running game, clearly, the 49ers knew the running game was coming prior to the ball even being snapped. They had tons of guys at the front. They were purposely making it a point of trying to get Taylor to throw the ball. They weren't expecting for Taylor to throw it that well. They just weren't. And y'all can say I'm part of the Heineke hype, but we all saw that game. We all saw the game. How many times have we seen Taylor throw multiple interceptions and they never thought to pull them? Now all of a sudden you pulling him on a situation where there was a fumble that wasn't his fault. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, he throws it because he's trying to get the ball out immediately and anticipate Brian Robinson's route. Come on, y'all. This was a sabotage game, and I don't care. Y'all can sit up here and say what y'all want to say. This was sabotage. This was 100% sabotage. And like I said, I'm not a big conspiracy theory person. That's not me. I just go off the facts. But what I absolutely saw, was a coach purposely wanting his quarterback, his winning quarterback, to fail so he can put in a guy that he staked his career on. Because y'all know that's what's going to happen. Y'all know, even for him to keep his job when new ownership comes in, it's going to be about, well, you know, I mean, look at how good he was in these last two games. Because, you know what? Remember when I gave the comparison to Doug Flutie? This is exactly what happened to Doug Flutie. Exactly what happened to Doug Flutie. All of a sudden, Carson might come in, play well in the Dallas Cowboys game, because guess what? They already clinched. So they may rest all their starters for that game. And they had a massive shootout with the Eagles. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Do y'all think this was a sabotage? Do y'all think that it was Ron's intention on trying to get Carson Wentz in the game, that him and Scott Turner came up with a game plan to actually sit up there, and they were hoping Taylor Heineke would fail, and they weren't expecting for Taylor to be that good in the first half? Y'all tell me what y'all think. I mean, even when it came to the defense, there was one play where George Kittle and McLeod were both open. They both were in the end zone wide open. Brock Purdy could have thrown one ball to George Kittle and another one to McLeod. Both of them were open. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all got to tell me what y'all think. I personally felt it was a sabotage game. I personally think that Ron purposely sat up there and wanted Carson in the game. I think he didn't realize that Carson was going to play. That Taylor was going to play that well in the first half of the game. And then as the game went on, they couldn't wait for him to make a mistake. Just couldn't wait for him to make a mistake. They could not wait for him to make a mistake. Y'all tell me what y'all think. This has been your man John Fortune, and I'll be back the rest of this week because I've been looking at film and I've been doing something different with the film, watching the film and stuff, but y'all tell me what y'all think. Other than that, this has been your man John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan. Oh, and Merry Christmas to all of y'all and y'all families. I didn't want to leave that out. Merry Christmas to all of you and your families. I hope y'all enjoy the holidays. I hope the kids enjoy the holidays. I hope your significant others enjoy the holidays. Other than that, this has been your man John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.